Okay, welcome to Low Self-Esteem Month. I'm chatting with Melissa Ayres. Melissa, do you want to tell us a bit about what you do?
Hi, Emily. Great to be here again with you. So, I am a perimenopause and menopause coach. I'm a homeopath and I'm a theta healing practitioner. So, I combine all of my skills and knowledge into a program where I support women in perimenopause and menopause using deep emotional healing and intuitive work and homeopathy. And I bring sort of all my skills and knowledge of natural health care. I've been practicing for around 12 years of homeopathy. And actually, what led me to doing this work was managing my own perimenopausal symptoms naturally, very quickly as well, which led me to develop the program that I've created to support women.
So we've got low self-esteem as a monthly topic because it catches so many women out, doesn't it? Like they've kind of gone through their 20s and 30s, maybe with a facade of a self-esteem, I don't know, but suddenly then as your hormones change, it can really blindside you that you suddenly think, maybe I'm not good enough, maybe. And as things change, I think it catches a lot of us unawares, doesn't it?
Yes, I mean, I've got a theory about this. I think we have three phases of life as women. I think we have the virgin stage, we have the mother stage, and we have the wise woman, also known as the crone or the grandmother stage. And when we reach perimenopause and menopause, we're heading towards that wise woman. And I really believe, and this is why I've devised my program the way I have, that all of the emotional things that we've swept under the rug from those previous two phases, which, let's face it, by the time we get to our late 30s, 40s, 50s, because obviously perimenopause can happen many years before actual menopause is reached, there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And I really think the universe loves us. I think nature loves us, and it's kind of going, okay, it's time to sort this out now. So I think this is where these feelings come in. And low self-esteem can be related to so many things, so many different aspects.
Yeah.
It could be childhood stuff, it could be adulthood stuff, um, all sorts of things we can take a knock. And the way I work with them is to get right back to the root, like the origin point of when this started. What's also really interesting is a lot of this emotional stuff that we carry isn't all of ours as women either. It can be, naturally we carry a lot of stuff from our mother.
Yep.
We were in her womb for 9 months. We picked up all of her emotions and feelings of self-worth and esteem when we were in the womb. So if she was struggling at that time, perhaps feeling I'm not ready to have a baby, or perhaps a pregnancy was unplanned, or not feeling secure in herself and how she was going to manage as a mother, that all of that kind of feeds in and we pick that up. So we're carrying a lot of emotional stuff. What's really interesting as well in the work I do is we can carry ancestral stuff from many, many generations as women.
Wow.
Some healers say 7 to 8 generations back. Another healer I've known and done a little bit of work with thinks 14 generations back that we can still be carrying stuff. So as women,
Wow. So to an extent, we're kind of screwed.
well, I'd rather not look at it that way. I think it's like, if you think about it, we carry physical traits and physical genes
Of
and
course, it
genetics.
makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
Sorry, I was
so
just.
we've got that there's an emotional thread there too. And I think whatever our ancestors haven't resolved can come to us, but it only comes to us if we're strong enough to deal with it. I really do think that. I don't believe
But
we're given anything we can't
it's
deal
interesting,
with.
isn't it? Because actually, now you've said that, it's something I've never even thought about. But yes, you do have the family physical attributes. So why wouldn't you have other things that pass down? It makes perfect sense, really.
Yes, yeah, and that can be emotional trauma.
Yeah.
I worked with a lady yesterday. Really interesting what came up for her. She found that she was drinking a lot more wine in the evenings to kind of cope with stress. And she just had this awful fear of, you know, when we tested, I muscle test beliefs with the clients I work with, the belief was that she was an alcoholic, and she's not an alcoholic at all. But when we connected and dug into this, I was taken right back about 6 generations. So a great grandmother who had sadly lost her husband and had actually turned to drink. That was there as a belief as well. I turned to drink. So she had all of this fear that was actually completely out of proportion.
Yeah.
And once we'd cleared that, she just felt this, this weight was lifted, and we downloaded a belief and a positive feeling that actually you can enjoy a glass of wine without having to worry about it becoming an emotional crutch.
Mm.
So that's what I'm talking about with it can come up. This is why I only would work one-to-one with women, because it's also different for all of us. But, stuff we're not even aware of, that's the work I do is working on the subconscious that comes up. And as I said, I really think menopause is a time when it rears its head.
Yeah.
But actually, I'd like to look at that as an empowering thing, because we can actually become aware of it. Once we become aware of it, that's half the battle. We shift it, we bring in the positive beliefs and feelings, and it makes us stronger and more empowered as women.
Absolutely. And I think it's a really interesting take on it. And I suspect that in the other low self-esteem month things, we'll talk more about kind of coping strategies and things like that. But I think it's really interesting to look at the fact that, yeah, this is a time when so many things are kind of in flux, aren't they? That it stands to reason that stuff that's unresolved is going to come up.
Yeah. And we've also got we've got the collective feminine wounding as well. Women have been, I know we're in a different time now, but for many, many generations, women have been suppressed, denigrated. We weren't allowed to vote till not so long ago. We're carrying that as well as women. We're carrying that collective feminine wounding that can come up for healing as well. I know we're now 21st century and it's a different time, but there's still part of us. We're still feminine. We're still carrying that energy as women, which is healing very much now. But
frankly,
it's
we
still there.
Even on an individual level, we still see it day in, day out, those little battles that we're constantly facing by virtue of being female. If I want to get I can get onto quite a soapbox about that, but I'll try not to.
Yeah. So, my advice would be for a woman feeling like that is, don't think it's just you. You're not alone. And actually, it might not be yours. It might be a trauma from another time that's coming up, or something in your ancestral past. And actually, look at it as a positive thing in a way that, okay, this is coming up for me to address, rather than be frightened about it, or what am I going to do, or going into that freeze or flight mode about it. Just have your wobble, and just be with it. And that's very much how I kind of manage life when things trigger me and upset me, is go, okay, this is coming up because if there's something within me that needs to heal. And rather than think, oh, there's something wrong with me, or I'm going wrong, or I'm losing it, actually this is okay. This is what happens in perimenopause and menopause, and it ultimately it's for my good, and I can work through this.
Absolutely. I love that. That's such a nice, it's such an empowering way to look at it, of just going, okay, this has come because I'm ready for it. And it's time to overcome this next hurdle because I'm ready.
Yeah, love that. Yeah, because I'm ready for it. Yeah, things come up for healing when they are ready to. They are ready to. It's interesting, some of my homeopathy patients can be in really, really great health and in a great space, and something will come up and they're like, I just don't understand it. I've done my exercise, I've taken my supplements, I've taken my remedies, and it's like, that's because you're in a place now where you can deal with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Emily.